when I first started educating myself on slavery and everything else beyond, oh, they were slaves, people had slaves. That's basically the small amount I was taught while I was in school. Now I learned about Mary Turner, all that. I wasn't taught about Emmett Till. The only person I was taught about was Harriet Tubman. But then you learn the details about what happened on plantations as you got older because you were reading and you're educating yourself. It kind of developed I'm gonna be honest, a hatred of white people in me. Like y'all did that, because I'm a descendant of slaves. Most black people are, but I know for a fact that I'm a descendant of slaves. And you know, these things they developed biases in me. They created a hatred, and I don't want to be filled with hate because I know there were abolitionists during that time period. So it's not all white people are bad. But if you're not careful, you will develop that type of mindset. You know what I'm saying? If you don't understand that, we're as black people, we've always been caring and open. Um, but you have to realize that there are the context. You have to look at the context of the time period as well, and understand that if you put a human face on these enslavers, because I took away their humanity as well in myself when I was reading those things. Like these people feeding babies to alligators and castrating and cutting off limbs and things like that. It made me feel like they were evil people. And I was looking at everybody like that. White people just hating people, filled with hate, filling myself with hate. But that changed when I realized that I have to walk in love. I have to educate. My goal is to educate people, because being at this plantation has opened my eyes to say, okay, some people really don't know. They were educated in the opposite way, thinking black people were one way. Or you have to understand that some people are just ignorant to the fact of things, of what happened during slavery. My mom told me that black people were thieves. That's or prone to violence. Or I even had people, as far as going back to the plantation, talking about what happened on the plantation. Oh, these were nice enslavers. These they treated their slaves good, you know, but none of it was nice. We were still enslaving people, you know, and some of them really they come in thinking that way, you know. But my job realized once is all, but because I've been an educator for a long time, you know, once I realized that my goal is to, and my job is to, my purpose is to educate, that took away that hate in me and kind of made me give, sympathy, poured a little bit of sympathy for them. They don't know any better, you know.
I
And
like
some people,
I like that you got back to your core values there, brother,
yeah,
and decided to hold on to that. You, I, that's it's just a beautiful thing for me to hear. That you were able to do that. That's not easy to let go of that
mhm,
hate and to read all about that, which I would
mhm,
describe as evil. What you were describing and that happened during slavery. The evil
mhm.
that these people did, and still be able to accept that a way forward that is not filled with hate. That takes a lot of strength.
Yeah, because you can't. I realize you can't educate and be full. You can't educate people coherently and in a way in which they do learn something if you're angry at them. It's like you go into a classroom and you're teaching whatever subject and you hate your students. You're not going to be able to teach effectively. You can reason with them. Okay, why do you not? What is the root cause of why you feel this way? Why did you grow up? What type of household you grow up in? I think about those things. When I'm doing tours or when I'm talking to people. And then I mean that's not putting everything on me because white folks they have to do the work too. They have to educate themselves as well. So,
Absolutely. But you're right. The most that we can do is educate, right? Especially
yeah,
people like yourself who, obviously have an affinity for educating and for teaching people things. Yeah, we need people like us out there, spreading the truth about
mhm.
race, instead of the mythology that is so commonplace. Thanks for watching. For access to the full-length conversation and all of the 2-hour-long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support and see you next time.